On World News Tonight this Tuesday, disaster on takeoff from Taipei to Los Angeles, a Singapore Airlines 747. The USS Cole is raised up to another ship for the journey home. Will the Cole ever sail again? What do the presidential candidates do in these final days to make the difference in a race so close?
It's freezing!
The man who pioneered late-night comedy has died, and the right to practice witchcraft in a Louisiana town.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. It is a tragic event today that has moved the presidential campaign out of the top spot on the broadcast. Such was the case of disaster and near disaster for others at Chiang Kai-shek Airport in Taipei, the capital of Taiwan. Singapore Airlines Flight 006 bound for Los Angeles with 179 people on board, including 47 Americans, was rushing down the runway when disaster struck. At least 66 people have died. The rest of the story from ABC's Mark Litke.
On the tarmac, the inferno that was Singapore Airlines Flight 006. This video shot from the window of another aircraft nearby. The LA-bound 747 had begun its takeoff only seconds before in near typhoon conditions with heavy wind and rain. Survivors say the plane seemed to be at full power when they heard a loud noise.
And the tail was shaking, you know, from this wind.
The moment he reached the high speed to get off of the ground, boom, everything was upside down.
All of a sudden, this plane broke up.
Flames engulfing the front of the aircraft first as it skidded to a halt.
It started filling with smoke, and I was afraid that we would be getting a fire and would burn alive. But
many of the surviving passengers managed to escape through the rear of the plane. Dazed survivors were taken to nearby hospitals, some suffering only minor cuts and burns.
Oh, I walked off by myself, yes.
Others with far more serious injuries. Rescue teams worked through the night to recover bodies trapped in the gutted wreckage. A major typhoon has been bearing down on Taipei all day, and several other flights had reportedly been canceled because of the weather. Severe wind, gusting up to 65 miles per hour, may have affected the jet, but the airline says the crash may have been caused by an object on the runway.
The flight commander on board the aircraft reported hitting an object on the takeoff run.
In fact, sources tell ABC News that the pilot, who did survive, said he thought he was about to hit something on the runway, so he quickly brought up the nose of the jet to avoid it. Moments later, Flight 006 was in flames. Mark Litke, ABC News, Hong Kong.
In the Persian Gulf tonight, American troops in Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, 10,000 of them, have been put on the highest state of alert. These are important places, of course, and the Pentagon said today it has picked up a credible terrorist threat. ABC's John McCarthy is at the Pentagon tonight, as always, and he has been monitoring the salvage operation of the USS Cole.
The U.S. Navy today provided its own video of the USS Cole being maneuvered onto the flooded deck of the giant salvage ship, the Blue Marlin. As the Blue Marlin's ballast tanks were pumped out, its deck was raised beneath the crippled ship, lifting the Cole out of the water. The 500-foot-long warship was placed at an angle so its propeller in the rear and its underwater sonar dome in the front would hang over the side. Using steel braces, the Cole is being welded to the deck of the Blue Marlin for the long ride home around Africa. Because of security concerns, it will not go through the Suez Canal. The Navy estimates it will cost at least $150 million to repair the ship, but Pentagon sources say damage, especially to the keel, may be greater than first believed. This $1 billion warship, officials warn, may have to be scrapped. As for cooperation between the U.S. and Yemen, it seemed to break down completely today. Yemen's government, apparently reacting to what it perceives as American arrogance, refused to allow any U.S. Navy helicopters to land on its soil. That left American investigators stranded on warships where they now live.
And one more concern. ABC News has learned that American officials now suspect that Yemen authorities deleted critical parts of a videotape taken by a harbor surveillance camera the day the Cole was hit. Increasingly, American officials wonder if Yemen's government might have something to hide. John McWethy, ABC News, the Pentagon.
Still overseas today, in Kazakhstan, 2 Russians and an American took off from the Baikonur space station. They're going to spend nearly 4 months as the first tenants of the $60 billion International Space Station. Man will now stay in space. When we come back, presidential politics, where the candidates want to campaign and where they must. And later in the broadcast, the town that is trying to silence its witches.
Up to your eyeballs in credit card debt? Lower your monthly payments now with a second mortgage from Ditech.com. There are absolutely no closing costs, no equity required, and you don't need a perfect credit rating. So what are you waiting for? Pay off those credit cards and lower your monthly payments now with a second mortgage with no closing costs from Ditech.com. Log on now for fast online approval or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED.
Sometimes you have trouble sleeping because you can't stop thinking about the tensions of the day. Try new Aluna Sleep. It's not a drug. Aluna promotes a natural sleep pattern in just a few nights. New Aluna. It doesn't make you sleep. It lets you sleep.
Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. Love is in the air. Every sight and every sound. Love is in the air. Love is in the air. Looking good, babe. Love is in the air.
And now the race for the presidency. In a race this close, with less than a week to go, the presidential candidates are trying to get to all the places still in doubt, which they think they can win, and to others they cannot risk losing. Just take a quick look at the map. Those are the 15 states there which we think are still in play, could go either way. And they're so important because without a combination of them, neither Mr. Bush nor Mr. Gore can get to the 270 electoral votes needed to win. So tonight from us, the candidate strategy, what they think they need to do. Joining us first from the road is ABC's Dean Reynolds, who covers the Bush campaign. Dean, tell us, if you will, where does your candidate want to go, and who does he think he has to talk to?
Well, Peter, the candidate is jumping right into those toss-up states, Oregon and Washington State tonight, and on to Minnesota and Iowa tomorrow, and then Illinois later in the week. He is clearly trying to shore up his base, but also take advantage of whatever appeal Ralph Nader may have in states like Washington and Oregon at the expense of Al Gore. Earlier today, the governor was in California visiting a homeless shelter, hoping to show off a more compassionate image to swing voters in that state and to the nation as a whole.
Indeed, there's a particular reason, I gather, why your candidate wants to get up there to the Pacific Northwest. He wants to get away from the South in part, or thinks he needs to.
Well, that's right, because polls show that Florida is now in play, if not altogether, for Gore. So the electoral math means that the governor has to shore up enough votes in states like Washington, Oregon, and Minnesota as a cushion if Florida falls out of his grasp.
Is the message getting any sharper?
Well, as a sort of an ulterior theme to the compassionate message, there is a tougher message, and you can tell by looking at this Bush campaign ad that was running today entitled Nonsense.
There has never been a time in this campaign when I have said something that I know to be untrue. There's never been a time when I've said something untrue.
Really?
Well, the Bush campaign says that that is not a negative attack. They're merely quoting the vice president.
Thanks very much, Dean Reynolds, with the Bush campaign. Now we go to Terry Moran, who is with the Gore campaign. Terry, where does your candidate want to go, and to whom does he most want to appeal now?
Florida, Peter. They're going to keep the heat on in Florida, where the Gore campaign likes its chances. Al Gore will leave here in Oregon. It will leave the West Coast tonight, red-eye to Florida. And what he's targeting are, beyond the senior citizens, the baby boomer families in Florida, in Central Florida, Orlando, and Tampa, with a message on the environment and a concert by Jimmy Buffett.
I neglected to mention that you're in the Pacific Northwest. When he gets there, what will his campaign strategy be? Who does he need to talk to?
Well, he does need to talk beyond the senior citizens in Florida, and what he wants to get at is some of those issues that he thinks the families of Florida are interested in. He's going to talk about the big choice, the tax cut, and the environment.
And is he sharpening his attack on Mr. Bush?
No question about it, Peter. Here in Oregon today, he gave what was, without question, the most aggressive, toughest speech he's given in a while. He went after Governor Bush, sharpening his edge on his attack on Governor Bush's tax cut, saying it's a giveaway to the rich.
I'd probably ask the same of both of you. Is this an exhausting last week for him, or does he stand up to it well?
Actually, it seems to me, Peter, that Al Gore likes the long days and hard work. It's something that he kind of prides himself on, and he's certainly wearing us down.
Thank you both very much. Terry Moran with Mr. Gore and Dean Reynolds with Mr. Bush. Let me go and talk now to our resident political analyst, George Stephanopoulos. Turnout's the big key, we'd agree.
In a race this close.
Who's got an edge? Either one, do you think?
Right now, I think one of the reasons the Bush campaign appears so much more confident right now, even though the race is close, is because they're much more certain that their supporters are actually going to get out there and vote on Election Day. All year long, their polling has shown that Republicans are more intense, more enthusiastic. And, you know, now there's some concrete evidence of it as well. Requests for absentee ballots. In Florida right now, there are 100,000 more requests from Republicans than Democrats. Now, Democrats say Republicans always have more absentee ballots, they're more affluent. We're going to make it up on the ground on Election Day. That's when our advantage kicks in.
You've said before that you thought the Republican base was more energized at this point. How much of an uphill struggle is that for Mr. Gore now?
Well, it's a big struggle because what he's got to do is get Democrats to come out in even greater numbers than, say, they came out for Bill Clinton in 1996. He's got to get the union vote up above 60%. It was only 59% for Bill Clinton in 96. He's got to get black voters, African Americans in the big cities to come out. And that's an irony. You know, all year long we've been talking about the suburbs. On Election Day, the Democrats are going to be focusing to get a big surge. Philadelphia,
inner city.
In inner city, Detroit, Milwaukee.
A last thought from you on the intensity of the campaign ads. When do you get to make your last campaign ad this week?
They're right up to the edge of it. They have to look at the situation on Thursday, make a decision on Thursday, ship and send those ads on Friday. Hey, after that, the strategists just sit back and watch with the rest of us. It's up to the field grunts then to get out the vote on the ground.
And have that opportunity to have the last reaction.
The last word. I just talked to somebody in the Bush campaign right before we came out. He swears the ads they have up right now are the ones they're going to stick with.
You don't necessarily believe it?
Actually, this time I do.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I do.
Thanks very much, George Stephanopoulos. Now, the Green Party candidate Ralph Nader was campaigning in Michigan and in Minnesota today, states where he could indeed cut on to not only Mr. Bush's support, rather Mr. Gore's support, but maybe even into Mr. Bush's. Mr. Nader urged voters to vote their conscience, and his campaign unveiled a TV advertisement mocking the idea of what he calls voting for the lesser evil. Now, next on the broadcast tonight, we'll take a closer look at a looming issue in this final week. Who will best protect Social Security?
World News Tonight with Peter Jennings and a closer look. Brought to you by Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac! I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
You know when it's time to focus on mental clarity. You've started taking Ginkgo, but Centrum knows there's more to it, like getting enough B12 and thiamine. Now, getting all this is as easy as Centrum. New Centrum Focused Formulas, focused on specific health needs.
The most important thing I've done in life is take care of my family. An important thing I've done lately? Talk to my doctor.
Ask your doctor about Prempro.
I'm glad I did.
Hello, America, how are you?
You know, when you eat good, you feel good. Healthy Choice helps you feel good.
We're both feeling good.
Because eating right makes a difference. And Healthy Choice soups make it deliciously easy with a surprising new taste, like Southwestern Fiesta Chicken, classic Italian bean and pasta, and the garden seasoned vegetable clam. And because every Healthy Choice soup has the nutrition you need, they help you feel good.
I feel good. Don't I look good?
Healthy Choice. Feel good food.
Guaranteed low prices at the Home Depot mean that you can be confident that you're going to walk into our store and find the best price in town.
You find a better price anywhere else, we'll beat that price. With no questions asked.
We will match it and then beat it. That's our guarantee, day in and day out.
Everybody says they got the lowest price.
Not only do we have the guaranteed low price, we also have the knowledgeable salespeople on the floor to help you.
We want to be the best price, the best customer service, the best quality product. We want to have the best of everything.
You would be out of your mind if you shop someplace else.
Tomorrow, Good Morning America hitches a ride with Al Gore. This close to the vote, what's it really like behind the scenes? A day on his campaign trail tomorrow.
There were a couple of indications earlier in the broadcast about how important Social Security has become as an issue in the presidential campaign. Everyone agrees it needs fixing, and everyone agrees that if it isn't reformed, it will eventually run out of money. George W. Bush wants to modernize Social Security, as he puts it, by allowing workers to take a small share of their Social Security payroll tax to invest themselves. Al Gore wants to maintain the existing system. He says he would save Social Security by reducing the national debt and giving Social Security extra money. ABC's John Martin tonight takes a closer look from the battleground state of Missouri.
At a small robotics company in a St. Louis suburb, the Bloomers, father and son, work side by side. George Bush's plan to allow them to invest a small portion of their Social Security payroll taxes in the stock market is where they part ways.
I could do with it what I want. If I make a bad decision, then it falls back on me. And I don't have to complain about anybody else messing my money up.
It's retirement money. It's Social Security money. And if you lose it, it's gone.
The issue comes down to this. Will voters believe Al Gore's promise to protect Social Security the way it is, or will they take a gamble and trust George Bush's plan to privatize part of it? Some Missouri voters are not sure Social Security will be there for them, so they are ready to take a risk. Mike Dubas is 29, father of 3.
By giving all that money to Uncle Sam to make his 2% on it, or me turn around and make 27 or 30% on it, I'd have to go that way.
That way has a simple appeal.
I just want more of a say-so of what I can do with my own money.
At a union hall, retirees worry that Bush is gambling with their Social Security benefits.
Oh, I don't think nobody has an option to take my Social Security and invest it in nothing. It's mine.
Gore targets independents like Hank and Loretta Goering to drive home the point that the Bush plan will take $1 trillion out of the system. They got a phone message by actor Ed Asner.
This is Edward Asner. The Bush plan drains money that is needed now to pay for current benefits.
I don't think we have enough money to cover both promises.
Neither candidate says how he will guarantee Social Security's future, and both resist saying it will cost more money.
Do you never see the need then in the future of either raising taxes or cutting benefits?
I certainly hope not.
An ABC News poll shows voters divided on who will best protect Social Security, but 58% supported a plan like Bush's. In this era of stock market wealth, they see his idea as an opportunity, not the end of Social Security. John Martin, ABC News, St. Louis.
There are, as you well know, a lot of complexities in Social Security in both of these plans. If you go to our website, abcnews.com, that may help. When we come back, Steve Allen, the original Thinking Man's coming.
There it is!
I see it! Get her!
Get the target sauce!
Crazy about seafood? Then you're gonna love Red Lobster. Quench your cravings with fresh fish, succulent shrimp, and everybody's favorite, lobster.
Hey, say something for me!
Red Lobster. Go overboard.
Getting up the mountain is one thing, but maintaining control on the way down also matters to GMC and engineer Nancy Huber. For the new GMC Sierra Heavy Duties, her team chose an Allison transmission, which selects the right gear for the grade whenever you apply the brake, for more control when you need it most. Nancy thinks you should enjoy the scenery, not become part of it.
I was home, homeward bound. Home, when my thoughts escaping. Home, when my music's playing.
New MSN Explorer. Everything you need to feel at home on the web, all in one place.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Vioxx, a prescription medicine available from your doctor. Or call 1-888-VIOXX22 for information. Vioxx.
I'm here to demonstrate how Whiskas' new savory nuggets with crispy outsides and soft centers compare to the typical dry cat food. Observe the difference at impact. Now ours. Trying this again.
These cats are totally ruining the experiment.
New Whiskas with savory nuggets. What cats want.
On Wall Street this October 31st, they are looking back at what has been a turbulent month. Technology stocks were hit hard in the past month, but they were hot today. The Nasdaq was up 178 points, more than 5%. The Dow Jones Industrials were up more than 135 points to close at 10,971. The Federal Trade Commission has released its list of the 10 most popular internet scams. The list includes fraudulent auctions where the merchandise never arrives, all manner of credit card scams, and a practice called cramming in which consumers are billed for web pages they do not own. The entertainer Steve Allen has died. Even before Elvis, it was really Steve Allen who first began to loosen up the uptight 1950s. In the golden age of television, Mr. Allen had that quality that all great comedians have. He was fearless. Here's ABC's Bill Blakemore.
The Steve Allen Show. Funny, intelligent, and detached all at once. Called the most talented man on TV in the decade when TV was born. Steve Allen invented the late-night talk show as we know it. He created The Tonight Show.
This program is going to go on forever.
He thought up that mix of talk and comedy, the man on the street, all ad-libbed on live TV.
I'm freezing to death!
Even as a toddler, he beamed with humor and smarts, from a vaudeville family. His mother, funniest of them all, even after her son made it big.
The manager didn't want you to disappoint me.
No. Disappoint you.
The manager didn't want you to disappoint you.
He never stopped producing, wrote more than 5,000 songs, 38 books on everything from how to be funny to religion and morality. In recent years, he campaigned against violence and bad language on TV. But he'll be remembered for the way he showed you didn't need it. You could be both outrageous and decent all at once. Bill Blakemore, ABC News, New York.
Steve Allen was 78. When we come back, a witch hunt in the bayou.
Oh. Can't sleep, honey? What's the matter? Oh, heartburn. I know just what you need.
Introducing new Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Faster than Pepcid, Zantac, or even the leading prescription. Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Cool, effervescent, specially formulated to put out the fire of heartburn fast.
Better, dear.
New Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Nothing puts out the fire faster.
I will never ask, what do you plan to do with your life?
I will never talk about the things you haven't accomplished.
I'll never bring up the time you came home smelling like that other dog.
I will never worry about where we're going.
As long as you roll down that window so I can pretend I'm flying.
No relationship is like the one with your dog. No dog food is like Purina One brand. And it's made with real meat. No corners cut, complete in every way. For the health and happiness of your dog. Purina One, how great relationships are fed.
Great place. I like your neighborhood.
Thanks.
Oh,
Sorry.
Time to buy a Galant. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for an entire year on our best-selling Mitsubishis. Hurry, this deal ends soon.
So you changed the name of the store?
You've been against this whole thing.
Two sisters, one act of betrayal.
It's so obvious, I can't believe I haven't seen it.
And that's just the beginning of the surprises yet to come.
Are you pregnant?
And all new Once and Again tonight on ABC.
Finally this evening on this Halloween, witchcraft. At least 500,000 Americans now describe themselves as witches, in that they practice witchcraft in one part of the country or another. Many people find what witches do completely inoffensive. But not so in part of Louisiana. ABC's Peggy Waymeyer tonight reports on what is acceptable in New Orleans is anything but not far away.
When it comes to spirituality, New Orleans is a city of contrasts. Attend Mass on Sunday morning, visit fortune tellers and voodoo queens by noon.
So I am your messenger.
But practices that go mostly unnoticed in New Orleans are causing a stir just 70 miles down the road in Houma, a conservative bayou town that's home to more than 100 churches and a coven of witches.
The main belief in witchcraft, the main tenet is harm none.
Not everyone in town thinks these witches, who call themselves Wiccans, are harmless. Many fear they are introducing dangerous occult spirits into the community.
The Wicca Church is against everything that we stand for as a Christian nation and as a Christian faith. And we want to stand up and say no in our community. We want to say absolutely not.
In an effort to end witchcraft in Houma, a resident here anonymously filed a complaint against the witches using a very old Louisiana law that forbids fortune telling.
They may cleanse this temple and those within.
The witches believe that through these rituals and the reading of tarot cards, their gods and goddesses will help direct their futures. Local officials enforcing the parish ban on fortune telling sent a detective to the coven to photograph the evidence.
All of a sudden, boom, we get a knock on the door. And he said, whenever I'm going to turn these pictures into my superiors, and whenever they look at them, they're going to determine if it is fortune telling. If it is, then I'm going to come back to arrest you.
The ACLU is trying to abolish that threat once and for all. The civil liberties group is now suing Louisiana on behalf of the witches to abolish the 1928 law it considers unconstitutional.
We don't protect the Wiccan free speech rights, then the Baptist and the Catholic free speech rights are at risk.
Houma officials now admit that since fortune telling is part of the Wiccan religion, they don't have a case against the witches. But these Wiccans say they fear the witch hunt will continue until the fortune telling law is off the books for good. Peggy Waymeyer, ABC News, Houma, Louisiana.
Hail and farewell.
That's our report on World News Tonight. Later this evening on Nightline, a town meeting about third political parties with Ralph Nader and Jesse Ventura. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Tomorrow, guns and votes. Can the powerful NRA convince you to pull the lever for the candidate of their choice? Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Tonight on Dharma and Greg, one of these men has another woman. And here's your only clue.
I should let him know how I feel.
Whoa, hey!
Don't worry, I have enough money to get away with one murder.
So, do you have a guess yet? Then The Gina Davis Show. All new comedy after a new millionaire. ABC Tonight.
First, Fast, Accurate. News 2 at 6 starts now.
He was bound to some degree. I can't get into great detail on that right now for fear of harming the investigation.
Police find a man murdered on Metro Airport property. Good evening, everyone. Just hours ago, a man riding his bicycle nearby noticed the victim on the ground and then called authorities.
And now police are closely examining clues to this brutal crime. News 2's Karen Brady is at the scene, and she joins us with the latest on this story. Karen?
Well, Bob and Ann, we have new information to share with you since our 5 o'clock newscast. We now know the name of that victim is 29-year-old Craig Farmer from East Nashville. Police tell us they believe his body had been lying out here at Couchville Pike anywhere from 18 18 to 24 hours before his body was discovered. At first, they thought he was brought here and murdered here. Later on, they told us they believe he was murdered somewhere else and left here for someone to find.
At midday today, a man was riding his bicycle, as he normally does along this roadway, when he discovered the body of a man. This being Halloween, he wasn't sure exactly